Students have great ideas, but can find realizing them challenging. That's why the 4TU Impact Challenge inspires the students to innovate, to be entrepreneurial, and to create social impact. They will go from an idea to a business plan. The students received training and virtual coaching from experts in the industry. The students will present their business plan to a professional jury and turn their innovation into reality. Our mission is to kickstart their bright professional futures. The 4 Dutch technical universities present here their winners and best ideas to battle against each other. Meet wildcard winner Logicsair.
We believe that Express Logistics can improve the quality of life around communities. And this platform gives us an opportunity to showcase the potential of UAVs in reshaping delivery infrastructure to the world.
Meet wildcard winner Respire.
Technology alone will not make air pollution disappear overnight, but we believe that with the right insights and actionable data, complex problems can be solved.
Meet wildcard winner Reshore.
We're competing in the 4TU Impact Challenge in order to get exposure for our idea. We know that competing and networking with like-minded individuals will really bring the best out of our idea.
Meet wildcard winner Zed.
We are competing to get money and exposure because we are a serious business. In Dubai, we want to showcase Dutch innovation to get more support to make this world battery-free.
Meet wildcard winner Goal 3.
At the current situation, we're testing with more than 20 tropical doctors that worked in these low-resource environments, and reactions have been overwhelming.
Meet wildcard winner X-Electric by XYZ Dynamics.
At this moment, we are still developing the X-Electric, and from an operational perspective, we are discussing the opportunities with large multinationals to make their fleet hybrid.
Meet wildcard winner Arbitrary.
So we're looking for commercial partners for full-scale pilot study with full-scale plastic prototypes. We as the Dutch, we always have seen opportunities where others only see problems.
Meet wildcard winner FarmVent.
We believe now more than ever that the food production should get closer to the consumers with transparent procedure without food miles and food waste. For that reason, we're developing the world's first fully autonomous farm vending machines for growers and retailers.
Let the battle begin.
Hi everyone! Welcome! Welcome to the Dutch 4TU Impact Challenge of 2020. My name is Nathalie Mangelaars and I will be your host today. The Dutch 4TU Impact Challenge brings together the brightest minds of the 4 technical universities in the Netherlands. They have transformed their technological innovations, into a solid business plan, together with the help of experts and partners of this event. And they did this with only one goal in mind: to create a safe, resilient, and sustainable future for us all. But what a journey it has been, because first they had to compete against other student teams at their own universities. And then each university selected their 2 best student teams to represent them. And today we have 8 finalists battling and competing for the title. Because the winner of today will win a ticket to the World Expo in Dubai. What's the plan for today? Because of COVID-19, we are broadcasting live here from this studio. But the jury and the teams, they will join us via MS Teams. What do we have in store for you? Of course, we're going to meet the teams and the jury members. I'm curious to see what they are going to pay attention to while choosing between these brilliant ideas. We also have a panel of experts who will actually give you more insights on the challenges that student teams face even after competitions like this, and how they can be overcome. Of course, we will also crown the winner, but you also have an important vote, because we also have an audience award. But most of all today, we're going to cheer, because this is the grand finale of the 4TU Impact Challenge. And even though you are at home, you can still cheer for your favorite team. I'm sure that they can feel the love just from your home to here. Oh, and a more general notice. If something might go wrong with the connection, because we know that hundreds or maybe thousands of people are watching, just go to our YouTube live stream and you can tune in straight away again. So we're ready to introduce our first guest of today. It's a special guest. He has a message for you. And student teams like this are important for the future of the Netherlands and the world. And that's why Rob Jetten, group leader in the House of Representatives, has got a message for you.
Hello everyone, it's a great privilege for me to join you during this 4TU Impact Challenge. The world is facing some great challenges at the moment. Of course, the corona pandemic, but we're also still fighting climate change and poverty around the world. And it's students like you from technical universities who work together with companies who can make a difference and who can make an impact on the future of this planet. So would like to wish you all the best and good luck during this Impact Challenge today. And I'm looking forward to see all the great things you are doing together.
Okay, it's time to meet our jury. And they are here from their homes. Hi guys! Let me first introduce you to our audience. Maybe you can just wave very enthusiastically when I call out your name, so the audience knows who is who. Our first jury member once said, "We are building airplanes while we're already up in the air." Well, I think that is the startup spirit. Let's welcome Harm de Vries, General Partner of Innovation Industries Funds. And our next jury member believes that being an entrepreneur requires both technical but also people skills. And that is why he and his team and his company, Forward One, helps entrepreneurs to develop a scalable product and accelerate growth. Let's give it up for David Serda. Okay, on to the next. This lady really knows how to develop organizations strategically. She does this herself for one of the largest organizations in the Netherlands, the Ministry of Defense. Innovation specialist Nele Valkeniers. And our next jury member is a real evangelist, an ecosystem evangelist. He's constantly preaching the importance of startups anytime, anywhere. Let's put your hands together for Niels Beers from TechLeap. Yes, Niels, you can wave, yes. Okay, and the chair of our jury is the owner of Cloud Cuddle. And that is, with her company, she has developed a traveling bed for disabled children. And she has won many startup competitions herself, including the Startup of the Year award. And Quote magazine even refers to her as a very skilled entrepreneur and a business babe. Let's welcome Lotte Leufkens. All right. And then there was one left. Mike Verkouter. He will be our jury moderator today. Mike, let's go over to you.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what your role is today.
Yeah, a good question, because you introduced already these marvelous jury members that are already there. So why is there still an add-on? Now, I think I can explain it best with something that all these technical universities that are involved in this challenge all already do well, and that's the valorization part. As in, all these jury members did a lot of research on all the people that are joining in this final. They have more than enough knowledge. But as you also know, as the host, of course, at the end of the day, there needs to be a result. There needs to be a winner.
Yes, definitely.
So we'll make sure that they will end up on time with a winner, and that also in the process, it smoothly comes to a result.
Okay, so you will push them, like, there's no more time. You have to make a decision now.
It's there's more. There are great contestants, of course, joining us. There are many questions that they want to ask, but yeah, we have limited time, so we need to make sure that everything goes accordingly.
Good. And about the question that they are asking, you will also be moderating that part, right?
Yeah, of course, you do the great hosting now already from out of the studio, and at a certain moment, I take over a small part as when we dive into the questions. And also these people that are then pitching also have just a slight moment to answer some of the questions that the jury members still have to finally make a decision on who will be the winner of the 4TU Impact Challenge.
All right, clear. So let's get to know our judges a little bit better. So Niels, you are always looking for the next tech leaders of the Netherlands. What do these startups need to show you that they are one of the next tech leaders?
Well, if you want to be a leader, I think the most important thing for me is that you have the ambition to actually be that. And that sounds very logical, but here in the Netherlands, we have this culture where we tend to try to be normal, and right. And I think just, you know, having this really big ambition, and also in how you present yourself, in how you build your company, and just going for that big dream. So not just conquering the Netherlands, but really, you know, changing the world for the better. And that's what I feel is really necessary for that.
Good. So think big and act abnormal.
Well, act big as well.
Oh, act
maybe
big
in
as
little
well.
steps.
Okay. Thank you. Harm, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the judgment criteria. What are you going to judge the startups on?
Yeah, so the pitch is very important. I hope that they're as enthusiastic as they show in the videos that we've seen. Further, the technology, of course, is very interesting for me. So I'll look at that as well. And yeah, and the scalability. So the business model, how scalable is it, and yeah, how feasible is it to make a nice company out of it.
Yes, and how important is it when they answer the questions? How important are the answering the questions themselves?
Yeah, it's important, but it's good to know that we have studied all these business plans, have seen the videos, we've discussed them. So it's an additional thing that we will be looking at. So it's important, but it's not, you know, we already have done some of the work.
Okay, so very many different factors you have to take into consideration.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, good. David, you're all about accelerating growth. So what do these startups now need to show you today to prove to you that they are ready to grow? Oh, you can turn off or turn on your microphone. Yay!
Sorry.
No worries.
I think the greatest thing to really be able to scale up is the right spirit. So, yeah, being passionate about what you do and really putting the full 100% in it is definitely a defining factor for me.
Yes, and how do they show the passion to you? How do you feel it? How do you sense it?
Well, especially working online, it's more difficult, but
yes,
I think that's the X factor that you see in people. You know, how happy are they in telling you about what they do?
So it's more of a gut feeling, and even online, maybe you have to be more enthusiastic because the non-verbals are shown less even than in real life, right?
You don't see the arms and you don't see the Okay. But so I'll be looking especially towards finding the passion there.
Okay, so bring on even more passion. That's a tip for the startups that will answer your questions later on. Okay, Nele, so you work for the Ministry of Defense, and you're in a jury full of people who are really in the startup world. So I can imagine that you might have a different perspective on the pitches and the startups that we see here today. Can you tell us a little bit about what you are looking for?
Yes, Natalie, and that's a very good question because I'm in a different role today. Today is the Ministry of Defense role. I am an entrepreneur myself. I have two companies in the south of the Netherlands. Yeah, so also an entrepreneurial vision. But today I'm really looking for those people who can make a difference within the ministry, of course. How can we connect the students into the field labs, the technology centers, the knowledge centers we have? How can they help with their brilliant ideas? Sometimes I really wonder how it's possible to come with so many bright ideas. How can we connect these people to the ministry? How can they help us with a whole lot of thematics? They all have very different ideas, and every idea, I wish I could take every student by the hand and lead them into the ministry, but that's impossible, of course. And we already, as Harm also said, we did a lot of discussions and studying already, and it's a very, very difficult thing to make choices here. So we are very looking forward, and I think I can speak for everybody, towards the pitches to see how can they still make a difference into the visions we already have or the ideas we have. So let's see what happens today.
Okay, so it's still a close call. You really haven't decided yet. Okay, that's good to know, but it also puts the pressure on the startup teams. Okay. Thank you, Nele. So, Lotte, you have participated in a lot of competitions yourself. So I'm just wondering, do you have any last advice for the startups on how to convince a jury?
Oh, that's a really good question. Especially in pitching, it's really important. And to really touch upon what David said, showing your passion, that expected thing, that joy, that you really are completely convinced of what you're saying, that's really important to convey in a pitch. And don't be afraid if in that way you sometimes lose your words. I remember that once I was in the semifinal for the TEDx Amsterdam Startup Award, for example, I completely forgot all of my lines. But if you know what you're talking about and know the why, then sometimes it doesn't matter. You know the story. So don't fuss about that. Even if you forget your lines, you know what you're supposed to say.
Yes, exactly. So be passionate. And if you forget the lines or where you were, like I'm doing now, what was I going to say? That doesn't matter. Just continue and you'll be fine. And never stop believing. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to give them that extra confidence, I actually won the award at the end of that. So forgetting the line is not the end of the award.
So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be authentic, and you have to be enthusiastic. Exactly. Good. Great advice for the teams. All right. Well, thank you, jury. It was really nice to get to know you a little bit better. But now it is time that we are going to meet our teams. And let's get to know our student teams a little bit better and get a glimpse of their brilliant ideas.
We are Z, Zero Energy Development. Researchers with a lot of experience in building zero energy devices that are self-sustainable and need no batteries or wires to operate. We bring sustainable zero energy devices that make this digital transformation sustainable.
Air pollution is a burning health crisis affecting almost all of our major organs. Yet the way we measure air quality today leads to a huge information gap in our knowledge about air pollution. That's why we are building a sensor network of low-cost miniature IoT devices.
So we are goal-free, and we are creating a tablet-based and easy-to-use monitoring system for environments with limited resources. We created this system because every year more than 2 million children in low-middle income countries die of deadly infection diseases. This happens while treatment is available, only diagnosis is often coming too late.
Governments are introducing zero-emission zones in urban areas in order to increase the quality of life. However, the commercial vehicle market industry is not ready for that next step. So that is why XYZ took the challenge to smoothen the energy transition for the automotive industry.
At Orbiterary, you see the Earth as a closed system, and we all know our plastic problem. Only we like to see our plastic problem also as an opportunity, because plastic is a great material. It's both strong, durable and waterproof. So we developed Modular. Modular is a system of plastic plates about an arm's length long, which can be puzzled into structures like Legos.
Although the world has gone digital, distances have shrunk, goods and services have become more connected, but still, more than 1 billion people live without access to the reliable roadways. We at LogicShare aim to bridge this gap by utilizing a network of UAVs to deliver cargo to these areas. Faster logistics is not only important in e-commerce, but is more crucial in humanitarian and relief operations across the globe.
We're Reshore, and Reshore is creating the living breakwater. And the living breakwater is a combination between floating breakwaters and regenerative aquaculture. We're using mussels and seaweed in combination with floating breakwater technology. We're highly inspired by nature-based solutions in order to create a marine infrastructure solution that is environmentally sustainable.
We are Farmend, a vertical farming technological startup. With a combination of IoT, data science, and machine learning, we can grow more with less. By winning the competition and going to Dubai, we can test our prototype, and we can show that we can have a real impact in the food production system.
Okay, so you just got a glimpse of their ideas, but I'm sure that you're eager to learn more. At least I am. So now we are going to hear their pitches. It will go the following way. First, we will hear their 2-minute pitch. And this pitch is pre-recorded. Why? Because of the pandemic, we did not want to have too many people here in this studio. So they pre-recorded the pitch. But they will be joining us live for a live Q&A session with the jury online afterwards. So that's what we're going to do. And that will be moderated by Mike. But not only the jury will watch the pitches, you will as well. And you also have an important vote, because your vote counts for the audience award. So pay close attention. We are going to start off with the first pitch. Are you ready? Let's give it up for Arbitrary from the University of Twente.
Hi, I'm Jelle from Arbitrary, and there's 4 things in life you know for certain. You're born, you die, you pay your taxes, and everywhere you go is plastic. And you might be thinking, I'm neatly separating my plastic. It's being recycled, right? Yes, it is being recycled, but only 8% of that recycled material is actually being used for new products. And those products usually end up in a landfill quite quickly again. I have a solution. It's called Modular. Modular is a system of plastic plates that can be puzzled into structures. They're about an arm's length long. Plastic is a fantastic material. It's strong, durable, and waterproof. That makes also part of the problem. Modular can be built and adapted into all kinds of structures. An example would be a seasonal bike rack. The possibilities are endless. Modular fills a need for structures with a higher fidelity than tents, but a lower fidelity than actual temporary buildings. And modular can be a structure as a service on one hand, or a structure as a product, so SASE or SAPI. The product has been partially validated using wooden scale prototypes and also validated through computer simulation. And our next step would be to grow the team even further and conduct a full-scale plastic pilot studies. And for that, we're also looking for commercial and production partners. So, from a seasonal bike rack to a carport, or even a refugee shelter. Whatever you're building, you're also building a better world. So, what are you building?
Wow, Jelle, thank you so much for giving this first pitch. And carports and refugee shelters from plastics. Wow, I had never heard of that before. Let's go over to Mike and see what he and the judges think of it. Mike.
Yes, thank you, Natalie. Hi, Jelle.
Hi.
Yeah, good to see you. A familiar face, of course, from the University of Twente /Novelty, but The bad news is that's not going to help you because I will give you over into the hands of the jury. And there will be 2 questions that they will ask to you, and you have 60 seconds per question to answer, and there will be a clock ticking. So you will see that clock. When the moment you start answering, the clock is ticking, and after 60 seconds, we will cut you off. So make sure you keep your answers short, to the point, so that these jury members here can make the best decision based on your answers. And for the first question, we go over to Lotte. Good luck, Jelle.
Thank you.
Oh, Lotte, you can
Lotte,
unmute your microphone. Yeah.
Thank you for the post-it, David. Thank you very much for your presentation, Jelle. I was really interested, especially after your business plan. Have you done any type of market validation? Especially in your business plan, you talk about building these fairs. So have you spoken to any of these fair stand companies or any of the other companies when you talk about the other solutions that it could maybe have?
Yeah, I mostly talk to a lot of applied customers, so like restaurant owners and different people with their own small businesses. But quite funny story, actually, I looked into the market for the event stands before like the whole COVID pivot. They were actually very hesitant to share any information they were having, and they were a little bit, no, how to say it neatly, hesitant to share any information. So so that's a point as well, which could be regarded as a point of potential competition as well. But we're actually looking for a lot of practical partners now. Due to the whole COVID pandemic, everybody has been a little bit hesitant to experiment, but there was a lot of enthusiasm for the project when talking to people. So that's great.
Great. Thank you. Now, well done on the first question, Jelle, because you kicked it off as the first participant. So now most of the other participants know the drill. You have 1 full minute. So also use the full minute because this is the moment to send it to. But indeed, you see it already. You will be cut off after the first minute. For the second question, we go over to Niels.
Hi, Jelle. I think it's an amazing idea to store or to recycle plastic like this and to use it, but to build these other use cases. But I think one of the biggest strengths is if you look at the validation, also not only commercially but also in the use cases. Do you also see so what happens when you're at the end of life of the solutions or of the products? Do you have use cases for that, and how do you see the future of where this is evolving to?
Yeah, well, hopefully in the first point, in like more of a utopian view, by 10, 15 years or maybe even 2 life cycles, the recycling of plastic would be like done properly throughout the entire world. But unfortunately, we are already dealing with plastic for almost 50 years, and there's still no proper infrastructure or incentive structures to actually reuse it. But the plastic after use can just be ground down to the plastic again and be reused in traditional recycle methods. And that's those methods already are pretty developed. The problem I'm solving really lies in that which pristine material, basically really proper material, which can be used very well, has not yet had the right incentive structures to be reused. And I'm willing to provide that extra usage.
Great. And 2 times within time, indeed, even well done, Jelle. Thanks for your answers, and we will go back to you, Nathalie.
Okay, well, thank you, Jelle. Thank you, jury. Thank you for kicking off the first pitch of today. And I'm very curious to see the second pitch, if I'm honest. And let's put your hands together for our second pitcher, Zed from TU Delft.
There are 35 million batteries in use right now, and this number will double in the next 5 years. There is no doubt that we are at the start of the smart age, with battery-powered IoT devices being ever common. But that means millions of batteries will keep ending up in our garbage, being lost forever. But why should you care? These evil, polluting batteries will result in 11 million metric ton of lithium-filled waste by the year 2030, mined by poor, exploited children from Congo. These batteries cost the whole world $27 billion in maintenance hours every year.
The alternative? Z.
We are pioneers in energy harvesting. We make end-to-end IoT systems that can sense and harvest energy from the environment. We build them using zero-energy devices that need no batteries and no wires and are thus highly scalable. This opens up a world of possibilities. From growing plants to detecting floods, from maintaining factories to measuring air quality, from tracking goods to tracking people, we can solve problems across all domains, from A to Z.
We entered the market, focusing on smart transportation, where we developed a TRL Level 7 prototype for Airbus. We validated our design in a real aircraft and now working together to make it market ready. But as you can see, we are just getting started. We position ourselves as a combination of a service provider, consultancy, and innovation lab, where we collaborate with large enterprises to realize the potential of the next generation of IoT applications. We customize the solutions based on our clients' needs and provide seamless integration into their existing system. We bring years of research experience to the table and want to move this Dutch innovation from the labs to the factory floor. We are Z.
Are you ready to be amazed?
Okay, that was the pitch from Zed, and I have to say I am amazed, but let's see what our judges think. Mike.
Yes, thank you. Welcome, Niels, here joining us with these judges. I see that you're already ready to celebrate, so let's see how that continues after these two questions and at the end of this afternoon. Again, for you the same, as in you have 2 questions, 60 seconds, you see the clock in the screen, and when you start answering, the clock starts ticking. And for the first question, we go to Nela.
Yes. Hello, Niels. Congratulations. Hi. You are indeed in a festive mode, but that's good. Well, I had to mention before I ask my question, David already said it, the passion is absolutely there. We can see it in your pitch. It's really amazing and fun to watch it. But I do have a question for you guys, because you mentioned already, you already achieved a TRL level of 7, which is quite high already, of course. My question is, you are already cooperating with larger companies, for instance, Airbus. It's a huge company and it could be an amazing push into the market. But what are your plans? Do you want to keep it as an own startup, an own company with your own package of IP, or are you going to share, or you want to be eaten by Airbus, or what is the plan?
Yeah, so for sure our goal is not to be stuck on one form of IP. And we want to kind of differentiate ourselves and get a wide range of solutions. And we actually think this is our strength. We don't have one solution, but we have the expertise gathered by our research, which we can apply, with which we can solve multiple problems. So, and we also don't see ourselves as like a company who finalizes a whole product, but we come up with an innovation, introduce it, prove it's feasible both from technical and business perspective, and then move on to the next one. And we really want to differentiate in a whole domain of possibilities. So now we really focus on zero energy devices, but we might once we have settled within, once we have proven ourselves as an innovation company, we might defer and then move on to another domain.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you. And Niels also within time, so good to see. Let's see how that works out with the second question from Lotte.
Yes, thank you. Also, great pitch. I love the energy and also the combination of you two giving that energy. It was really fun to listen and watch. The question I actually had was more when looking to Dubai. You mentioned a lot of different solution areas that you might want to get into. What would you, if you were being able to get the ticket, what would you present at the expo in Dubai? Do you have something physical, maybe from your Airbus experimentation, that you could show there?
Yeah, so we during the collaboration with Airbus, we also we have a demo, in which it's real simple. It's just a button, but it has no batteries. And we noticed the moment people can actually hold the innovation and see it happening in their hands, it's really powerful. They immediately are amazed by, wow, no battery, I am powering this myself. And this is really useful to open the conversation, because often the real valuable problems we want to solve are not the problems we can think of. So the simple button we can show in Dubai, we hope that we can use this as a conversation starter where the people can talk about their industry and then start to talk about how we can help them.
Now, for sure, people love pushing buttons, I think. So that's a great conversation starter. Thank you for your answer.
Great. Thank you, Niels. Is the champagne also ready to pop, or is it just the flags?
Well, we got the flags also from the competition, from the previous round. So we just kept them up and hope to keep the ball rolling.
Very good. Good motivation indeed. Thank you for your answering. And we go back to you in the studio, Nathalie.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's good to know that you won't be eaten by Airbus, Niels. Okay. We're ready for the next pitch. And that is the first pitch from a team from Wageningen University and Research. Let's give it up for FarmVent.
Hi, I'm Nick from FarmVent, a vertical farming startup. Do you know that the herbs and the leaf greens that you are buying locally, they are traveling a lot of way from different countries to coming in your plate? Do you know that during this lengthy transportation, a lot of contamination and losses are happening? Do you know that a lot of retailers throwing away a lot of produce every day, and they have a lot of food waste of the products that are not sold and they are contaminated from their customers? We believe now more than ever that the food production should get closer to the consumer with more transparent procedure, without food miles and food waste. If we observe the traditional supply chain, we can see that the produce and of the herbs and the leafy greens supply chain have more than 6% losses before the final products reaching to the final customers. Now we can have a more supply chain redefined with point of sale in-store farming with FarmVent. FarmVent is an autonomous farm vending machine. It's a robotic first approach that we can ensure that every plant can be grown at its best, from seed to harvest. And we can extend the shelf life of every plant because we sell on the time of the customers who wants to buy the herbs. Also, we can grow locally in-store herbs and leafy greens, and fully automatically and monitoring from our cloud-based software. We are targeting in the retailers and growers, and we can go and scale up together in the rapidly exponential market. Our business model is called Farming as a Service, and we're providing subscription-based vertical farms to the retailers and growers, and we're providing also our software as a service solution to grow together. We are a multidisciplinary team with plant scientists, engineers, biosystem engineers, and business, and we're ready here to go in the future of in-store farming. Are you in? Mail us now. Thank you.
Thank you, Niels, for your amazing pitch and vertical farming. What a great term. Let's see what the judges think of your pitch. Mike.
Yes, indeed, because we can like the pitch indeed and the idea, but at the end it's up to the jury to decide if this is the golden egg that will bring you to Dubai. So are you ready to answer some questions? Do you still need a sip of water or something, or are you ready to go? Ready to go. Okay, then for you the same. 2 questions, 60 seconds. Time starts ticking when you start answering. And the first question comes from Harm. Harm, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, Alfieris. Is that the right way to pronounce your name?
Nicolos is the name.
Oh, Nicolos, yeah. All right. I really like the idea, and I also like the idea that you take vertical farms one step up the value chain, you know, to put them into stores. The only thing I was wondering about is the economics and also the time from seed to harvest. You know, if there are sufficient customers, can you keep up with that process, with that, with that period?
Definitely. So we have two possible scenarios in our business model. One is that we can enable the growers, the existing growers in every city, to grow and go in-store and elaborate their sales in the supermarket with our devices. So they send the seedlings that they making, and they're approximately in 10 days, the seedlings, so approximately 2 centimeters, the herbs, in our devices, and they continue growing in our devices in the end. So our technology enabling the other growers, the existing growers, to come with more sales, because they have a different point of sales system across the cities. We're targeting in the supermarket in the beginning, but also we can put our devices in different indoor places. And the second business plan is to have the supply chain from the beginning, from seed to harvest, but this requires a lot of time and more, and this is up on investigating at the moment. We cannot answer this question.
Thank you.
Great. Nearly within time, so you made it. Thank you, Nicolas. For the second question, we go back to Niels.
All right. Yeah, I also really like the idea. It's something new and something we haven't seen yet. If you look at this, and you mentioned a couple of things that you might want to do with integrating with local producers and that kind of stuff. But what would you say is your biggest challenge in scaling this commercially? So in getting actual goods sold to customers?
Yeah. So basically, this is a challenge for us because we need to identify if we go different countries. We start from the Netherlands, but we want to have a scalable business and a startup. So when we go to different countries, we need to identify the local producers that they have the special requirements of ours. So we need to identify these growers that they have the requirements that we need to have for our vending machine. So this is a big challenge for us. But we need to grow with the partners, and they have the know-how. So we learn, and both from both ways, because they have the know-how of the supply chain, and they give it to the retailers the herbs already, and they're in business a lot of years. And this is a very good point, a value for us to obtain. If we go on the other hand, as a company alone, from seed to harvest, there's different challenges. It's more scalable, but there are a lot of possibilities, different and dangerous things that we don't know it.
Yes, if people couldn't hear it due to the bang, you said don't know it at the end. So, but at least for the jury here, I hope it was clear. Thank you, Nicolas, for your answering. And I think the jury can handle still more, even it's already tough maybe to make decisions based on these 3 great pitches. So Natalie, back to you for even maybe more.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but this pitches really make me hungry. And I know that you have all received a borrelbox. And maybe if you're hungry yourself, or maybe it's because you're pregnant like me, I don't know, I eat a lot. But then you can go and grab yourself some popcorn or something to drink now. You have 1 minute. I've got some time to tell you a little bit more about the World Expo in Dubai that the contestants can go to if they win. What is it actually, the World Expo? Well, it started in 1851 with the goal to share innovations amongst countries. And one of the first innovations that was shown there in 1876 was Heinz tomato ketchup. Did you know that? I didn't know. And later on, they also showed the television and the gramophone were also displayed there. So I'm curious to see if 30 plus years from now, people will think, oh yes, that was the Dutch innovation showed at the World Expo in Dubai in 2021. Wow, what a great innovation. Oh, the minute is up. We're ready for the next pitch. I hope you have your popcorn and your drinks ready, because we're off to the next pitch. And that is XYZ Dynamics from TU Eindhoven.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Alex, co-founder of XYZ Dynamics, and we have a mission to smoothen the energy transition for the automotive industry. And what we see nowadays is really good. We see an upcome of electric passenger vehicles like Tesla. However, there is one type of vehicle lagging behind, the commercial vehicle. And this type of vehicle contributes the most to the current CO2 emissions on the road. And that is why governments are introducing zero emission zones. And more emission zones will come, so that you can receive your package emission free. However, we spoke with the manufacturer and they told us that they see no chance that they will meet up the climate goals set by the governments on time. And that is why we have a solution for them. A solution that makes it possible that we can hybridize light commercial vehicles by means of the X-Electric, a modular electric drivetrain. This will make your vehicle hybrid, so that your package will be delivered emission-free. And what do? We just combine the best of two worlds. And what makes us innovative? We can actually guarantee that your that your package will be delivered emission-free by our smart geofencing system. And at this moment, we have developed our prototype, and we are in conversation with PostNL, and we are discussing with them if we can hybridize their fleet as well. And now is the moment for us that we have to upscale. So our team wants to bring our message into the outside world. And that's why we want to join the World Expo.
Okay, thank you, XYZ Dynamics. Well, it's really clear that you want to go to the World Expo. Let's see how the judges feel.
Yes, welcome, Laurens. As in the meantime, we of course also grabbed a drink and some popcorn. Even I think Niels is eating. Laurens here to and even the beer is ready. So Laurens here to represent the Technical University of Eindhoven. A lot of people, of course, watching to see how you hopefully, but I have all the trust, make them proud. For you also these two questions and 60 seconds to answer them, and you will see the clock ticking. So make sure you use the time. Well. And for the first question, if he's not eating anymore, we go back to Niels.
Wow. No, so I love your solution, and I totally agree that this is a really big problem that you're trying to solve. What I'm wondering is that are you going to be in time to actually solve this problem? Because you will have a couple of years that you probably need to scale up, while at the same time new solutions will come in the market in a couple of years, especially electric light vehicles from Ford and others. So I think you're solving a problem right now, but are you going to be able to solve it when the new products are coming onto the market?
Okay, well, thanks for the question. I'm quite sure that we can solve the problem, especially now in the first 5 years. We expect that then the hybrid solution still works, but what we're also looking at is, it's funny actually because it's still in its infancy, but we are speaking with transport companies that are having issues with the current full electric solutions. And what they actually want from us now is that we make a modular battery pack as well. So because we're already making a modular system, is that now that we can exchange the battery pack that's actually in the vehicle. So what we do also is that we have the standard vehicle. They can quickly remove the battery that's in it at the moment, then switch in the new one, and then continue with driving around whatever their business is. So that's basically our next step, that we make it as interchangeable as we can.
Great, thank you, and well on time indeed. And for the second question, we go to Harm.
Yes, hi Laurens.
Hi.
Hi. I really like your solution and the product, and I also like that it's so far has advanced during the last years. I have a question with respect to the economics. It's still quite expensive at 10 to 20K per system.
Correct, yeah.
How are you going to deal with that? And are you talking to leasing companies to collaborate to make it more or less expensive?
Yes, we're actually having in our business model, there are actually a couple of ways to approach the market. In the most ideal way, we would want to be an aftermarket product of the OEM itself. that we don't have to do all the marketing stuff that's involved with it. It's just that they have a single depot where all the stuff is, and they distribute to all the dealerships. That would make it a lot more efficient cost-wise as well, but also manufacturing-wise, or actually no, fitting-wise, so that the dealerships can actually fit it. But besides that, as you said, leasing companies. So we're actually in contact a lot with LeasePlan. That's one of the main companies that we're talking with. I believe Alcredis as well. And also through Volker Wessels. Volker Wessels, actually the concern also itself has a leasing company in their holding basically. And they are also interested in leasing it for their own subcontracting companies.
Okay, thank you, Lawrence. Indeed, mentioning some great company names that hopefully for you impresses not only Harm but also the rest of the jury when they have to make the decision in a bit. So thank you. Also, again, jury members, and back to you, Nathalie, again.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. I think the names are very, very impressive, that they are already talking to at least. So let's hope that they will get a deal in the future. We're ready for our next pitch. And that is a pitch from TU Eindhoven. Give it up for goal 3.
There is one crucial thing that the corona crisis has taught us this year. Healthcare is the backbone of all societies. This is also true for low and middle income countries, which have been held back by underfunded healthcare systems for the last decades. Still, every year, more than 2 million children in low and middle income countries die of deadly infection diseases. What you might not know, the majority of these children do reach hospitals and treatment is available. Reasons this still occurs is that medical technology is not suited for the context of low and middle income countries, and hospitals are extremely understaffed. At this moment, healthcare workers manually monitor the vital signs or are unable to monitor them at all. That is why we as Goal3 are creating a robust and easy to understand patient monitoring system that will use algorithms to assist in an early diagnosis. This should result in less time spent monitoring patients and a lower mortality rate. But to make this feasible, a new business model is necessary. So that is why we're working with an all-inclusive leasing support and maintenance fee for our customers, the hospitals, of only $1 a day. My name is Jelle, a young entrepreneur, and together with Tropical Dr. Niek and industrial engineer Bart, who is currently in Malawi setting up our test pilot, we formed Goal3 with the mission to empower health workers with smart technologies that address their needs. Today, we're building a global community of change makers in healthcare, and we want the 4TUs, but also the participants of the Dubai Expo, to join us so that we can reach all doctors, health workers, clinicians, technicians, policymakers, ministries of health, and everything and everybody we can find to join us on our vision of fair and accessible healthcare for everyone, because we all health.
Wow, I can really feel that they are on a mission. Let's see what the jury feels. Mike.
Yes, thank you, Nathalie. Indeed, talking about impact and impact challenge. So good to have you on board also in this jury call now, Jelle. From call 3, indeed. Let's see if you can bring the 3 to 1, as in that you end up as the winner of the 4TU Impact Challenge. But first, you have to answer 2 tough questions in these 60 seconds. And I think that most people by now know that the time starts ticking when it happens. But still, some people forget to mute, unmute, and these kind of things. So why not remember people as much as possible to make sure everything goes well. And for the first question, talking about unmuting, let's go to David.
Yes. Jelle, welcome. Great to have you here. Yeah, very nice pitch and very nice idea. The idea seems so obvious that, you know, you start thinking, wow, how come this doesn't exist yet, which is usually a very good sign. However, listening to your pitch, I was wondering, every time I see a movie or a series on television that somebody is on in the hospital and the heart rates go up or down, you start hearing alarm bells, but in the end, somebody has to go there. You mentioned understaffing. So where do you differentiate yourself from what is already there, and how are you going to solve the problem of understaffing using your devices?
Yes, thank you. That's a very good question indeed. So first of all, the fact that we design especially for this context of low middle income countries make that our solutions really work with the problem of understaffing. So we make it more simple. We make sure that if there goes an alarm off, it is tailored to the situation. And one thing we're researching on adding is algorithms that can really detect what type of disease is happening, and also decision assistance, which works via a decision tree, for example, like check this, check this, check this, do this, so that a healthcare worker can really faster, more efficient, more effective treat the patient, and that also helps for their understaffing problem.
Great.
Yes, thank you. Normally you hear the boom, but this was
no boom. You were
right on time. Thank
So,
you.
Well done. Let's see if that also works with the second question that you will get from Nele.
Hello, congratulations, you're already in this spot, so quite exciting, right? You are indeed, as Natalie said, it's a mission indeed. I have two questions that I am going to combine to one, so it's an extra challenge. I'm so sorry for that, but it all comes to the same question actually. When I listened to your pitch and when I saw the business plan and everything, a few questions popped up. One of them is, if I see your system, will you do a buy-in of all separate kind of products, devices, maybe low budget medical devices that will be combined to your system to do the diagnosis on spot? That's one. And two, if that's the way you guys are thinking about it, it might be quite an expensive solution. So how to embed this one in the structure that is in the country you're trying to help?
Yes, so it will be, of course, there is already a lot of sensors and technology available. So we do some buy-in. We, of course, are not going to develop it all by ourselves. But we are using the most basic sensor technologies for our current first products. And also by a business model innovation, by our leasing fee, we try to really make it more, not necessarily more affordable, of course, way more affordable than a Western setting system, but not necessarily more affordable than an Asian manufactured system. But by our model, we make sure that the hospitals can also pay. We're now currently also researching making a payment integration, for example, with health insurance policies, where we have very good partners in Kenya for. So kind of these disruptive innovations all come together.
Great. Two questions and still in 60 seconds, so really applaudable. Well done. Thank you, Jelle, and let's go back to you, Natalie.
Yes, but Mike, two questions in one. Well, I think it's a little bit doubtable, but okay. For now, it was okay. Let's go on to the next pitch. And that is a pitch from Wageningen University. Let's put your hands together for Reshore.
Hello, my name is Frey, and I'm a co-founder of Reshore. Reshore's mission is to replace gray, lifeless breakwaters with floating living ecosystems through our product, the Living Breakwater. Breakwaters are built in order to protect people living in coastal environments, but they tend to destroy the environment in which they're placed. As much as 35% of critical marine ecosystems have been lost. We need solutions that protect people and the planet. The Living Breakwater combines coastal protection, marine ecosystem restoration, and food production in one solution, allowing for sustainable development in coastal areas. Technically speaking, the living breakwater is a floating structure that uses a cage filled with mussels and oysters to break waves. Attached are seaweed and artificial reefs that help to create ecosystem services. All in all, it's a living, floating ecosystem that also breaks waves. Uniquely, we combine traditional infrastructure and natural solutions. We use mussels, oysters, and seaweed in order to create habitat, boost biodiversity, and filter water. The aquaculture can be harvested and sold in order to generate revenue. We're selling the living breakwater to engineering firms, to ports, and to local governments. And we have a recurring revenue model through maintenance. Thanks to the maintenance, we can engage in a strategic partnership in order to further develop our product. To date, we've raised 11,000 euros, and our technology is at TRL 4. We're looking to put a pilot project in the water in 2021 to put ourselves to TRL 6. We've gained tractions as winners of national and international competitions, and we have partnerships in 3 different countries with research, NGOs, and private firms. Together with our partners, Reshore is looking to challenge marine infrastructure to become environmentally sustainable. We have the skills in aquaculture, engineering, and business in order to reach our goal of putting a pilot in the water in 2021. I'd like to call on you for your support, your expertise, and your network to help reach our goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Frey, for your pitch. Let's go over to the judges and see what they feel like. Mike.
Yes, welcome here in front of the jury members. And to start off, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is we have really experienced jury members that have a lot of knowledge on just in general a lot. The bad news is that we also have some jury members that have a bit of a background in these kind of things. So maybe it makes the questions even tougher, but knowing you're from Wageningen, I at least have all the trust that you're smart enough to answer these questions. So let's go for the first question to Lotte. Good luck.
Thank you, Mike, and very much thank you for the presentation as well, especially because it's concerning the environment, which is a very hot topic at the moment. I think it's great that you're putting this effort in just to begin with, either you win or not. And one of the first things that I wanted to ask you is really regarding the fact that you're talking about coastline, of course, but every coastline all around the world will look differently, have different creatures and mosses, for example, present there. So you can't, I can imagine, not place the same system in the water at every coastline, because they'll have, like, you talk about mussels, for example, in your business plan, they probably don't have them everywhere. So how do you make sure that you variate your structure, so to say, to every different coastline?
All right, well, thank you for your question. Actually, mussels, seaweed, oysters, these bivalves are in some form are applicable everywhere. In every body of water, there is some sort of bivalve that could be utilized, or some sort of algae that could be utilized. So actually, it is quite scalable in that sense. The structure as we have it currently, the floating structure, will remain largely the same, but dependent upon customers' interests or desires based on their aquaculture needs or their ecosystem service needs, you can utilize different regenerative aquaculture species as necessary. So there actually is a lot of opportunity, but the skeleton and the backbone of the product will largely stay the same. So it's the same in the North Sea as it is as anywhere else, though of course some areas are not applicable. We are targeting low wave energy areas. This isn't going to replace a dike system, for example, in the North Sea. It's not going to be on the front lines.
Right. Now, good to see that I didn't even have to tell you you had 60 seconds, but you start knowing it already by yourself. So that's already like a +1 also for that. Thanks for the first answer. And let's go for the second question. And then you still have indeed these 60 seconds to impress the jury members before they almost start deliberating on the winner. And for the second question, we go to Niels.
All right. Yeah. So I'm wondering. I know from I worked at a construction company, and we tried to sell some sort of similar structure as well. And we noticed that it's incredibly difficult because it's mostly a governmental-driven market that mostly develops their own solutions. Where most producers are just following what the government decides that they want to build. Have you done some commercial validation on this, and do you think that you can tackle these problems?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So we have done a lot of outreach. We've spoken to private firms, NGOs, as well as government institutions such as the Rijkswaterstaat. And what's interesting with our solution compared to the normal solution is the addition of aquaculture. It brings a whole new kind of market segment into the equation. So there's a lot of interest from an aquaculture standpoint, but also a coastal protection standpoint. And we've gained a letter of support from Van Oord, which is a large contractor. So there is interest from a very large segment of the marine engineering market space.
Great. Yeah, if there's not more to say, why should you indeed say more, indeed? But you mentioned a letter of intent or support, indeed. So again, just also informal pitches, indeed, some names always do good. Thank you for your answers. And good luck, of course, further on. And Nathalie, yeah, we're back to 2 questions per participant again, so the jury is behaving again.
Well, that's great to hear, Mike. And good way of answering tough questions, right? Well done. Okay. Maybe you already have a favorite so far, or maybe not, but don't choose yet, because we have 2 more pitches to come. And our next pitch is from the University of Twente by Logixair.
Over 1 billion people around the world live in remote communities, and these areas lie outside the reach of the reliable road network. Natural calamities and conflicts have displaced millions into relief camps, depriving basic resources. We at Logixair focus on delivering essential cargo to these communities using autonomous flying cargo systems that does not depend on road transport. We aim to deliver cargo up to 200 kg with a serviceable radius of 500 kilometers. Using aerial systems ensures faster delivery of cargo and acts as a stopgap for the delayed road transport. Traffic is a major concern in urban areas. Our UAV service bridges the gap in the current logistical infrastructure by delivering cargo like a trucking company but with UAVs. Understanding the fluidity of logistics, we have designed aerial trailer truck configuration that allows us to carry variety of cargo, making loading and unloading operations easier. This technology brings in a new industry to the region to build sustainable communities and to create new job opportunities for the local populace, contributing to the economic growth. With a team of 4, we have built and tested a prototype aircraft and are currently optimizing the parameters for an MVP to be tested into the market. This puts us at the end of TRL3, and as we move into TRL4, we aim to build long-range communication systems with sophisticated fleet and flight management softwares that form the core of our UAV network of UAVs. Seeing these facts here, we can say that drones have made a difference by delivering life-saving supplies across Africa. This shows the effectiveness of UAVs in outreaching people and reshaping the delivery infrastructure. Our mission is to deliver value using smart technology aimed at improving quality of life. Thank you.
Wow, transporting cargo by using drones. Completely innovative. Let's go over to our jury members. Mike.
Yes, that sounds indeed already impressive. And as being said, Banu, also to you, what I said to Jelle from Orbitary already, the fact that we're from the same University of Twente doesn't help you. So I can only give you some extra time to lose your shoulders, maybe take a sip of water. But then these 2 times 60 seconds are completely up on to you to impress them. So good luck already with that. And for the first question, we go to David. Seeing that David is a bit stuck in the screen, doesn't matter, because then we change that around. For the first question, we go to Harm.
Okay, thank you very much. And I really like the idea, to build unmanned aerial vehicles. What wasn't really clear to me, and what I wanted to ask you is, you're integrating and assembling existing technologies, is that true? And to what extent do you have your own proprietary technologies? And when will your minimum viable product be ready?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, we are integrating various components like engines and communication systems from various OEMs because they already are there. We need not build a engine vertical up. So engine can be integrated. The integrated systems can also be used as a own proprietary systems. Like we already spoke with some patent companies and all for the IPs. So these kind of integrating systems can also come under an IP and a proprietary software or a system. And we are planning for an MVP to get into market by an year or something that can be tested. It can carry payload up to 20 kgs. So this gives us the whole idea in the market, how it works, how the logistics network works and all with the UAV.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you indeed. Even 10 seconds still left, but maybe you even need that for answering the second question. And this time, finally back to life again and the imaging screen. David.
Yes, hey, it was lovely listening to your pitch. As an engineer, of course, I love the idea of thinking about the future and imagining UAVs solving lots of our logistical problems. However, this is an impact challenge, and I was wondering if you could elaborate on what the real big social impact would be of having your system in place.
Yes, okay. We are not doing anything directly to the society, but indirectly. Logistics is an important thing in every economy. So in the current scenario, like most of the logistics is dependent on the road transport, and there's traffic, there's human dependencies. There are many other factors that delay reaching goods to a location. So we want to make them like support the network by providing them with a faster alternative using UAVs. So example, taking a relief camp in Africa or some other location. The road conditions in Africa are very poor, and people in a natural calamity or something, they're affected and they don't get the basic needs immediately. So we can bridge this delay logistics gap using UAVs, which are autonomous and does not depend on many human factors.
Right.
Thank you.
Indeed, still addressing indeed impact to society. Indeed, in Africa is for sure also, of course, society. So thank you, Banu, for answering these tough questions of the jury members. Good luck with Logic here, of course, and we go back to the studio to Natalie.
Yes, thank you, Mike. And I'm not only curious about his idea, but also where he bought his wallpaper. I just love it. But anyway, let's continue to the final pitch of the day. Are you ready for some tech girl power? Put your hands together for Respire from TU Delft.
In 2016, almost every other day, I used to go running in the early morning. Back then, I was in Milan. Until one day, when I came back home, instead of feeling refreshed, I actually felt suffocated from the air I was breathing. That was my first realization of air pollution. Later, I learned that air pollution kills 7 million people each year, decreasing life expectancy to up 5 years. The reason why it's hard to tackle this problem is due to a huge information gap. We simply lack the data to understand our exposure to poor air. Air pollution changes hour by hour, varying up to 8 times within one single city block. So unless you happen to walk right next to one of these big monitoring stations, it's impossible to find out what you're breathing. But today, we're here to show you our solution, Respire. In the age of IoT and 5G, Respire is a geolocated device containing sensors to measure air pollutants, like nitrogen dioxide or particulate matter. You just need to put it under your bike seat, and you're ready to go. While traditional air monitoring networks can provide a general idea of a city's air pollution, we can capture street-by-street variations. And this allows us to forecast air pollutions even days before it reaches peak levels. And it empowers government agencies to localize restricted areas of polluted sources and to take preventive actions, like traffic control. And for us, as citizens, it continues to work as a bike theft tracker, while also providing us the healthiest route back to work or the best park to bring our children out. We are currently at tier L4 in discussion with various partners along with a pilot study in Ghana. There is a misconception that air quality is either good or bad. It's not like that. With air pollution, every single matter counts, every single particle counts, every single year of life. So join us and let's respire together.
So that really was some tech girl power, but I'm pretty positive that it's not Cecilia doing the Q&A, Mike.
No, indeed. Or something goes wrong on my screen, indeed, or I see something else. But as being said, let's respire together. So it means already that there are multiple people, and let's also respire now together in seeing what you're bringing in. To do a checkup, as in, are we checking with Gupta or Akshit? As in, how do we?
Yeah, it's Cecilia in the name. Like, we are using deepfakes and deep voice changer. So yeah, my name is Akshit, by the way.
Great. Now, actually, nice to have you here. You're the last one. So there are all kind of these kind of competitions where people say, like, yeah, being the first one is a good thing because you right away can make an impression, or the last one is good because they still remember you. You go out with a big bang. And now we are here with, of course, 4 technical universities. So and I'm not the researcher on that department, so it's not up to me to do that research. But maybe we know at least a bit after the jury consultation if you will be the winner, and maybe that is then the case. But it's depending also, of course, on the 2 questions that you will get, and you have 60 seconds to impress the jury, and time starts ticking when you start answering. And for the first question, we go to Nele.
Yes.
Shoot them.
Yes. Hello. Well, actually, I also had a question about your deep fake solution because it's really working very well. But I will behave and I will only ask one question this time. Thank you for joining and congratulations for being so far ahead, of course. I have a question because I absolutely like the pitch. I like the idea. It's kind of a data generator. You guys come up with some solutions to get more, the goodwill of the consumer. That's kind of my question because if you don't have the goodwill of the consumer, the whole idea falls apart, kind of. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so in terms of the goodwill of the consumer, let's say the consumer hasn't even deployed the device correctly. Each of the Respires actually are talking to each other. So it's an ad hoc network. Each device talks to each other. And if the customer hasn't put the device correctly, we can detect that and push him out of the network. So the network never breaks down in terms of the customer not installing the device correctly. And yeah, we believe that consumers would be open to have access to healthy routes, theft tracking, which they get for free, basically by using our proposition, as well as at the same time contributing to good air quality and good policy making.
Great. Thank you. As actually, it is in well-being within time. What counts for you? Of course, giving the last answers and then the final 60 seconds, of course, also counts for the jury. If you have the honor to ask the last question, of course, the whole audience that is watching right now expects, of course, the best question so far. So for that, we're all curious what the question will be. David.
Yeah, hi, welcome. And I was very impressed with the pitch. I think it's very interesting that you pinpoint a large information gap in something as important as air pollution. I'm curious about the roads to getting there, to generating enough data to have some good information for governments to do decisions upon. So you'll need a lot of your devices. How are you going to get there in terms of who's going to pay for it? Do you want everyone on their bicycle to pay for it and use it as a tracker, or the other way around? Do you want government to take the initiative? How do you see that developing?
Yeah, that's an intriguing question. So one of the hardest things that when you're trying to affect change is basically finding the right customers. So we got this box, we talked to customers, we said, do you want this? We went to customers, we went to municipalities, we went to policy advisors in Amsterdam. And we found that consumers, they say they are like, it's a good device, I will buy it. But then the payment thing comes and they think, they have more resistance. Like, they don't know if they have the problem, they are not aware, but the municipalities are aware. So we don't have to do anything to make them aware about the problem. So what we are expecting, our beachhead market, we pivoted our strategy and moved towards municipalities and state-owned entities to install these devices in let's say public transport systems, or maybe give the device away for free. Since they already have the air quality monitoring stations, they can give the device away for free to individuals. And yeah, that's how we plan to gather data.
Great, thank you very much. Yeah. And I think based on the all jury members, I think it's applaudable what all the participants did so far. So an applause to you all. And I think, Nathalie, that it's now time to take them away and make sure that they come to a final verdict of who the winner will be of the 40U Impact Challenge.
Yes, I think that's a very, very good idea. So now it is time for you to bring in your votes, because the jury will start deliberating, and you can also cast in your vote for the Audience Award. Go to the page next to the live stream, which you can vote, or you can vote via your smartphone. You can go to ahaslides.com/40u, and you can only have one vote per IP address, so choose wisely. And the student team who receives most votes will win the Audience Award. So you now have 1.5 minutes to vote. Okay, so we're back, and I know that you've all casted in your votes. We are going to count them now, and the jury is deliberating, and now we have our panel of experts. And with this panel, I'm going to talk about challenges, because the startups have faced many challenges during the competition and during developing up to this point, but they will have many challenges to come. But what are these challenges, and how can they overcome these challenges? That's what I'm going to talk about with our panel of experts. Let me introduce you to them, and once I've introduced you, you can just wave so that the audience at home knows who is who. First of all, I would like to introduce Dilu Matthew. He is the co-owner of EC-Sense and the winner of the Dutch Impact Challenge of 2019. Then we also have Roxy van der Langkruis. She is the product coordinator for the police force in Amsterdam. And then we have Tariq Arsiwalla. He's the co-founder of Protix and a venture capitalist. And last but not least, we have Farley Rimon. He's a master's student, engineering and policy analysis, and he has done some really interesting research about successful startup teams. So, Dilu, you are the winner. Hi. You are the winner of last year's challenge. So, can you tell us a little bit about what happens after you win such a huge challenge?
Oh, wow. There are a lot of things happened in the last 1 year. Right after we won the competition, we went on to incorporate our company officially with the KVK. And then, as you know, that we were initially focusing on cancer diagnostics using our nanotechnology-based sensors. And then the Corona crisis came and everything was locked down and we were sitting at home and we were like, what to do now? And then we find and realize that our technology is actually not just capable of cancer diagnostics, but it's beyond that, which means that we can also use our technology for coronavirus detection.
Really? Also for corona? So you actually shifted from cancer to corona with your sensor?
Yeah, that's right. We are still doing the cancer research, of course, but we also opened up the new research and development for the corona crisis, and that is the main track at this moment. So we have a fast and reliable test compared to the existing tests that are available in the market.
Okay, and what steps did you take to actually make that shift? Because that might also be for other startups who will be continuing after this competition.
Yeah, of course. The most important thing is the right collaboration and the right partners.
Okay.
And the second thing is, of course, the money to develop this thing. So these are the two things that we did. We found some partners, for example, the Medispectrum Twente Hospital in Enschede for a hospital, and then a lab in Hengelo for microbiology analysis where we could do the coronavirus test with using our technology. And then we also got some grants, research and development grants together with the University of Twente from Health Holland to do the study.
Okay, so you have to talk to many different organizations and actually convince them that you are the right person to collaborate with.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
Sorry?
So for all the startups, be prepared to have a lot of conversations with different organizations. Okay, well, that actually brings me to the next panel member, Roxy, because you work for the police force in Amsterdam, and I can imagine that when startups, after they win some competitions, they start talking to you, and they start convincing you that police is maybe a right partner for them to collaborate with. So how does that process go?
Yeah, I think last year with the team Glimp that won the TU Delft contest and got into the 40U Impact Contest final. Well, they started to, of course, asking us to collaborate, working together, and then you have and they had a brilliant idea with PTSD and stress release. Mm-hmm. And the interesting part was that their solution was very interesting for us as a police force. However, working together with a startup as a governmental organization is quite challenging, of course.
Oh, really?
So
what are the differences?
Sorry.
What is it that makes it so challenging?
Well, because startups need investments, and the police is not always able to just give money to startups to invest. So that's quite of a challenge, of course. And startups are focusing on the business model and growing their company. And within the police, we're trying to maybe internally get the ideas and maybe develop them further. So that's a different approach. And sometimes it might be challenging to come up with a good fit. Yeah.
Yes, I can imagine. It's a different perspective. So what would be your suggestion, your tip to give to startups?
To really find out where what are the focuses of the in our case, like the police, what are they focusing on, and what are the top priorities within the domain and within innovation. And what kind of programs are already running, where literally where the money is. So, in order to, to work together with existing programs to get a better follow-up, I think.
Yes, I can imagine, and I can also imagine when you are a police officer and you were just talking about Glimpse from last year, and they have a PTSD solution. It's kind of a hard topic to talk about in an organization. So what would be your advice if you would have a solution like that and you would like to integrate it into an organization, for example, as the
well, if you're well, the thing is that it's also about, like, you know, talking about the solution, because you know, when you're saying, oh, we're gonna we have this big solution to solve PTSD, the students last year changed in a way that they said, well, we don't have a solution, but we want to prevent it, and we want to do a stress reduction at work when they have like a big impact at work. So it's also about the story you tell, and I think that's one of the things we saw happening with the students, and yeah, I think it's very good to learn about your target group, because if your target group is a group, you know, which is vulnerable, you have a different way to approach them, to join them within your idea.
Okay, thank you. So Tariq, you are not only an entrepreneur, but also a VC. So what would be your main advice if you would like to raise capital as a startup?
Yeah, for raising capital, I think it is important to think big, dare to think big, dare to think global, because quite often I've seen that startups think very small, and then their plans are not that compelling to invest in.
Okay.
But quite often when you think one step further, then you will find spin-off market opportunities that make your overall story much more compelling, such that you can, for example, create a platform of applications from your invention. And that, of course, triggers extra interest from investors.
Yes, so think big. Okay, so now we have seen all different tips and tricks from the outside of the organization, but Farley, you have done some research about the success of startup teams. So what do you really need to do as a startup team to be successful?
Well, first of all, it is really important to trust each other, because this trust will be used as a basis. So there's empathy, but also a lot of autonomy in the team. And when everybody has autonomy, this contributes positively to your own motivation, because every decision you take, members will not doubt, and you yourself will not doubt that it's the right decision towards the vision you have for the team, but also your own motivation, because it aligns with the goal, with the team goal.
Okay, well, I think it's good advice. So trust each other. That's the main thing. Thank you so much for our panel of experts for these valuable insights. So now I'm just wondering, I just heard that we have a winner. The jury has come to an agreement. And we also have a winner for our audience award. And of course, I'm going to announce these winners, but not before I have some special thank yous. And our first special thank you on behalf of the organization is for our students. Because once they started the program, the pandemic started, and they have shown such flexibility and motivation, and they just kept on going. So thank you so much for that. We would also like to thank all of our 89 partners, our coaches, and all of the other experts from the universities involved. Thank you so much. Now it's time to announce the winner of our audience award. The audience award winner will win 1,500 euros that they can spend on their startup. And this prize is presented to them by Rabobank in collaboration with 40U. And Martine Boon, she's the Deputy Director of Food and Agriculture at Rabobank, has got a message for you.
Hello everybody, this is Martine Boon from Rabobank. Rabobank is a worldwide food and agri bank, as you may all know, and our motto is growing a better world together. And why grow compatible together? Well, as you may all know, is that we need to feed the world in 2050 with 11 billion people, whereas at the moment we have around 9 billion, so we are growing, and all those mouths have to be fed. How are we going to do that? That's really a big challenge we have, and the food and agriculture sector and our farmers have a big challenge there as well, because how are they going to sustainably produce food? Well, innovation is key, and you are key in that respect, and that's why we support this Impact Challenge. Rabobank is therefore proud to be able to offer you the Rabobank Audience Award, and the team with the most votes will receive this award. So good luck to you all, and may the best team win. Bye!
Thank you, Martina. And it's great to hear that all of these great partners support this event. And while she was talking, I received this golden envelope. And in this envelope, it says who the winner is of the Audience Award. So let me open it up. Let's see who's got the most fans at home. Ooh, I've already been able to take a sneak peek. I think you're all very, very nervous to hear who has won. The winner of the Audience Award is Reshore! Woo! Okay, Reshore, are you happy?
Yeah, I am very happy, of course.
So how do you show your enthusiasm? Yay!
But there's still the second thing, so I'm just like, I'm still chock full of anxiety. Like, that doesn't leave yet. I am incredibly happy, though.
So how does it feel that the audience has voted for you the most?
Well, it's fantastic. I appreciate everyone's vote, friends, family, people somewhere in between or on the other spectrum. It's wonderful. And it's validation in its own sense that, one, we can articulate this thing in an understandable way and that people connect with it, and that's really meaningful.
Yes, I totally agree. So again, big applause to you for winning this Audience Awards. But now it is time to also announce the winner of the jury. And for the winner of the jury, I'm going to call in Lotte Leufkens. She is the chair of the jury. And first, of course, I'm going to ask her a little bit about the process. And then I'm going to ask her who has won. Okay, Lotte. Lotte has joined us. Lotte, okay, I'm just curious, how did the deliberations go?
Yeah, hello, good to be back. It was extremely difficult for us. Of course, we had the pre-discussion before all the pitches, and then we discussed some questions that we were going to ask, and especially the answers to these questions have been given so good that at the end we again were still stuck. We were hoping that the answers would quickly give it out. But we had short time, and eventually we were able to get to a conclusion, luckily.
Okay, and what was the deciding factor? What made you decide to choose this startup?
Oh, okay, let me see how not to give away too much. But I think a big deciding factor was, of course, the passion of the team, which is really key. Yes.
Okay, okay. Well, Lotte, now it's up to you. You are going to announce our winner. I'll give the floor to you.
Thank you. So the winner of the Dutch 4TU Impact Challenge is Zet.
Yes!
Awesome.
Congratulations, guys.
Zet, congratulations! So I
so
see
much.
that you already have the flags up, but it's time to party tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, and I see you. Woohoo! Okay, so I think you're happy.
Yes.
Okay. So how does it feel that you've been chosen the winner of this challenge?
Yeah, it's amazing, and yeah, we really look forward to show our innovation to the world and be part of the Dutch World Expo.
Okay, yes, and we are looking forward for you to represent us there. Lotte, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about why they won.
Yes, now I'm able to give away a bit more because now we know that it is that. Now, the reason why we really chose you guys, because we were really inspired by the idea behind it, really the passion behind it. We loved the energy of the team during the pitches, during the answers. Also, when you were talking about the platform, especially in your answers again, how you can combine multiple IoT systems and ideas. Especially also looking at decrease of pollution, because especially the environment is a hot topic. We have to act now. We hear that all the time. So we love that is one of the ground reasons why you're doing. But what we wanted to give you, especially when looking to Dubai, as the whole entire jury, we love the inspiring idea, but we really hope that you can concretize more on it, really working towards Dubai. So be able to really show them more, hopefully more than just a button of really the systems that you're working on, and as opposed to maybe concretize the platform also more, so that you can show them as much as you can, based of course on the first inspiring idea.
Okay, yeah, well, thank you, Lotte. Thank you, Team Z. And I think we have come to the end of the Dutch 4TU Impact Challenge. And is it already time for me? Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is the ending of the Dutch 4TU Impact Challenge. Thank you so much to all of the student teams, to all of our partners. Oh yes, there's champagne coming in. Thank you so much, Nina. I cannot drink it, but anyway, we're going to take a toast. Thank you so much and see you next year. Bye-bye.
All right, congratulations, guys.